welcome back on to another episode of Pathway to Profession. Here with Jill and Shaz. How's everyone doing today?
I'm doing great. Episode 2, back with another banger, hopefully. We got a really good success from the last one and good feedback as well. So, just happy to be here, happy to be with you guys, talking about everything and anything apprenticeship. So, let's get it. How you doing, Joe?
Jill, how
Yeah,
you doing?
like Shaz says, I'm really excited for episode 2. We got so much positive feedback for the first one. I am a little sick today, unfortunately, so if you see me coughing, don't worry. I'm getting better. I might not be my perfect self today, but we'll get through it. I look really forward to this episode.
Let's go. Joe's
That's
out here
good.
even when he's ill. Joe is out here even when he's ill. That's how you know that we're putting everything on the line for this podcast. So if you do enjoy it, make sure you smash the likes, drop a positive comment, and we'll be sure to keep delivering quality content for you all.
Perfect. Let's get
The
started.
resilience we talk about, guys. That's the resilience the workplace looks for. But anyways, before
Come
we
on.
get into that, episode today is about the steps to take before getting an apprenticeship. So the first thing that we'll be talking about is why an apprenticeship is a good choice for you. So we'll be talking about each of our different experiences, our backgrounds, and then we'll also be talking about like our strategies and how we took the approach to get an apprenticeship, like how we applied, all that stuff. And or to good stuff, the cover letters and CVs. I personally did not do a cover letter, so do not be looking
Me
for any
neither.
input from me. But I'll have input on the CVs and things. So that's good. Then I know we briefly talked about this in the last episode, which was your social media presence, guys. We'll be giving insight into that and your LinkedIn, all that type of good stuff. And we'll finally be ending with our advice to leave with all of you. So yeah, let's get into the episode. So guys, why was an apprenticeship a good choice for you?
So with me, I just hated school. I hated it. Like I'd be
All
in the
right, bit.
yeah. I'd see school wasn't my cup of tea, to be honest with you. Like I just remember dreading school, waking up, sitting at the table, and just staring at the clock. And like I hated GCSEs. I hated exams. It wasn't really my cup of tea. So I was always thinking, okay, after I do my T levels, which is like an equivalent to A levels, I was thinking, what do I do next? Because I know I don't want to sit down doing exams all day. Because I already, since I was like year 7, I hated it. So I was thinking, you know what, I can't do university. That's not me. So I started looking into different options, and then an apprenticeship came about. And I realized that with an apprenticeship, you can literally get paid and go to degree with it for free, which is incredible. Like to me, I was thinking this is too good to be true. So then I started applying, and applied to at least 30, 40, as I said on the last episode, and alhamdulillah, I managed to get one with BT. And I feel like the main thing which drove me to do an apprenticeship is the fact that you get that practical hands-on experience. You actually understand what it's like to work in a corporate IT based job. I feel like yes, with university you can understand the theoretical and maybe technical aspects of IT, but when you go on to do an apprenticeship, you'll be surrounded with loads of other workers, maybe 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds doing the job same as you, and you get to pick up so much from them. It's incredible. I mean, I remember me and Joe were in the Future Voice rotation last year, and we were working with so many different amazing people. We picked up so much from them, and I feel like that experience is invaluable. You really can't get it from university, I don't think. I feel like doing it on the job is how you're going to gain the most. So I think that's one of the main reasons why I did an apprenticeship.
Mm. Yeah, I do have to agree with Shaz. Exactly like he said, that hands-on experience is invaluable. Uh, those real-world skills you just can't pick up in a classroom, you know. And obviously, a big benefit is, excuse me, is avoiding that student debt.
Mm,
So, big financial bonus to it. And again, with Shaz saying that we used to work in the Future Voice team, we managed to build a lot of industry connections through that. We got to know the wider team. And again, you can't get that at university or school. I mean, you can try at university, but you're going to be doing work experience, so you might as well just do an apprenticeship. Those industry connections are massive. After your career, after you finish the apprenticeship, you have potential opportunities already lined up for you. So, no debt, a
Yeah.
promising future set up for you, invaluable work experience, and you're getting the degree that university students are getting. You
No
know,
brainer.
what's
Yeah,
it's a no-brainer, right?
absolutely. And I
Well,
feel.
mine wasn't even.
Sorry, you can go, Fider. You can go, Fider. It's alright.
Uh, mine wasn't even the financial bit. It was actually the fact that Aisha said, I didn't hate school because I was actually one. I was just like that smarty person, like who just loved maths and everything. But what I didn't like was the stress that it came to, like, when you take your exams and
Yeah,
that stress, you're shaking, everything. Yeah, I didn't like that. I was like, nope. Even though there'll be some exams, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for this. Is the revision beforehand, all of that. Not saying that we don't have to still take exams when we go to uni. However, I knew that I wanted to study computer science. So from day one, I knew I'm studying computer science when I go to uni, all of that. But when I really thought about it, I was like, everything that have to learn the computer science, the thing that I want to do is coding. Would I prefer reading from a textbook day to day, listen to a lecture, and then not putting any of that knowledge to use? Whereas when I came for this apprenticeship and I found out it's a degree apprenticeship, that's something that you have to look out for, because they have apprenticeships and then you have degree apprenticeships, which are the ones alongside uni. So I chose a degree apprenticeship, right? And what I loved is, even though we still went to uni and all of that, and still reading, not reading from textbooks, but we had the lecture, we had the same experience. I literally later on got to use those skills within the workplace. I was making, well, it was similar to like Excel spreadsheets. I was putting the codes into there, and I was like, imagine if I was in uni doing courses day to day, learning from the textbook, and then how am I gonna like input that until like
yeah.
4 years down? Like computer science degrees, they last 4 years.
Mm.
So would I sit down in a lecture room 4 years? Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, that's just mental. 4 years and then not putting that into anyone until after.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that. Even
I
me
feel
thinking
like
about it now, I'm very, very.
I feel like a lot of that knowledge can go over your head as well, because if you're doing it alongside the apprenticeship, you're learning as you go, kind of thing. So it's always like a
Yeah.
better option, I'd say. Um, with the apprenticeship as well, I think one thing which I didn't really realize until after I got my apprenticeship and applied is just, as Joe mentioned earlier, is just the industry connections and the networking, and it's just so valuable. I mean, the first week I started my apprenticeship, I linked up with an apprentice called Omer. He's a big apprentice, like he's like the poster boy of BT as well, like Fida, and he's always going above and beyond doing his thing with the apprenticeship stuff. And he invited me to come to the Multicultural Apprenticeship Awards as a guest, and that was like the first time I went. I wasn't even shortlisted, but now I've been shortlisted twice, and that's all come from one connection. You know what I mean? So I feel like with apprenticeship you can really meet some amazing people. You can meet some very like-minded individuals who really want to put themselves out there and just build their skills and just improve and just get on that career ladder. I think that's what's really good about it. But anyway, I think that's a topic for the next episode where we talk about steps to do after your apprenticeship. So anyway, let's continue with yeah, what was next? We were going to talk about our own
Out back.
individual strategies, weren't we?
Personal motivation on why we chose the
Yeah.
apprenticeships. Let's dive a bit deeper. I know we touched on this last episode, but I figured it would be more insightful if we, explain the nitty-gritty details on why we personally chose the degree apprenticeship.
Mm.
Again, all the ins and outs. Wow.
All the ins and outs. Okay. So like, I guess it's important to go down to square one then, right? So how it actually started. So when I was in college, I remember all the lecturers were telling us to kind of apply to unis. We could only apply to 5 unis, and I remember thinking, I really don't want to go uni, but I'll just apply anyway because these lecturers are telling me to, so let's just do it. And then I came home, and obviously, in my language, I call my mom Ummi, so I was like, Ummi, I don't want to go university. I want to do an apprenticeship. And then she was like, okay, and she was really, really supportive. And I think that's really important when you start applying to your apprenticeships and stuff, to have supportive people around you, because there were certain people around me who were saying to me, don't do an apprenticeship. Like, it's dumb. You're just going to be giving tea and coffee around. You're going to be doing tech support, some boring old jobs, which no one cares about. But then there were also people telling me in my circle, telling me that Shaz, you can do this. Keep applying. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. So it's so important to have positive people in your circle. So anyway, I went off on a bit of a tangent there. But my mom, literally my mom, every day, I'm not even joking, she was so supportive. Like, big shout out to my mom. Like, there were times when I'd feel so disheartened because I wouldn't get an apprenticeship, and I'd feel so put down that, oh, none of these guys are getting back to me. But every single day, my mom, without fail, yeah, she'd always send over anything she could find, apprenticeship links, applications, everything. She'd always help out, and I gotta give a massive hats off to my mom. And that's where I started just applying to loads of apprenticeships, and the motivation really kicked in because I saw Omer on a podcast ages ago. I forgot what the podcast is called now, and I just saw like what benefits it can bring people. I've seen people like do public speaking. I've seen a lot of people go on to achieve great things because of their apprenticeship. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard of Iman Gadzi, right? The big social media marketing guru, that guy. Even he was saying, like, I remember watching a video like before I did my apprenticeship. Even he was saying, and he's made his money. He's saying that the best thing to do after your college and A-level years is do an apprenticeship. And even he's saying that because it brings about so much life skills and things you can take away with you, and that can help you in any aspect of life, whether it be business, whether you go on to do another job later. And I saw that and I was thinking, you know what, I need to keep applying. So I just kept doing it, and that's a big reason why I wanted to do it.
So I'm not gonna speak on Iman. I have my own opinions about him.
Yeah,
Oh.
same. I mean, I have my own opinions about him, but obviously he did, as someone who's made
he's
money.
spreading a
Yeah,
good message there with the
yeah,
apprenticeships, but he has his faults. What
absolutely.
was
I haven't actually watched him, so that's
He's a
don't worry
questionable
about it.
character. He's a very questionable character, definitely.
Shaz, yeah, it's really nice to know that you had that support system behind you. You know, your mother being there and giving you that motivation you needed. But what if you had to pinpoint one thing that was the deciding factor for you to apply for the apprenticeships versus university? What would you say that one factor is?
I think it's just like I didn't want to do what everyone else was doing. Like, I didn't want to go to uni and like, because all of my friends were going to university. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do something which was a bit different, a bit more. I wanted to do something.
meaning.
Yeah, I wanted to do something which I felt would actually benefit me. I felt like if I went to university, I'd I'd waste my time just hanging around with the wrong people, just not studying properly. But I knew that if I did an apprenticeship, I'd have the motivation, and I wouldn't have the debt either. So it's like I thought, you know what, I need to get an apprenticeship because it's gonna give me the best possible chance of a better future after I complete it, rather than doing a university degree. Because I saw my dad as well.
So,
He did a
okay.
Because I saw my dad as well. He did a university degree. He did a master's in IT as well. And
Hmm.
spoiler alert,
Did
he's not.
he?
Yeah, and spoiler alert, he's not working an IT job. So I was always thinking, a lot of these people are doing IT degrees, doing degrees in a certain field, and they're not getting a job in that field afterwards. I'm thinking, why? And I just sat to myself and I was thinking, why they're not getting the job that they've been studying for? And I realized that I thought to myself that it's because they just don't have the experience that's needed. They don't have what's necessary, the skill set necessary to bring them forward. Yes, they might have the theoretical knowledge, but theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge are two completely different things. So I was thinking, you know what, a degree apprenticeship, I'm getting the theoretical knowledge and I'm getting that practical knowledge on the job, which will secure me the best chance for a possible future for when I complete my apprenticeship. I could go on to carry on working at BT, I could work at a different company, but the key is that experience factor, the fact that I know what it's like to work an IT based job, and I know the theoretical knowledge behind it as well.
Okay,
Did you
so
guys?
experience was the big driving factor for you. Thank you, Shaz.
Yeah,
Do you
I'd say
guys?
so. I did
From
waffle
the
a bit
both of
there,
you.
but I think,
Hmm.
because you gotta remember when I was applying for these apprenticeships, it was a good like 2 years ago now. So I really need, like, I don't think anyone really has like a main reason. I'm sure there's several reasons which goes into someone applying for an apprenticeship. There's loads.
100%, yeah. That's why it was kind of a trick question. I wanted to see if you would be able to
Wow, he's
pinpoint.
testing you.
Yeah, I was
But
thinking out loud.
everyone
That's the
who
thing.
applies, they throw, it's because it's such a good package you're getting. It's like no one can be angry at the benefits you get from an apprenticeship. They're all driving factors for you, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there's any like real one driving factor. There's just so much that goes into it with an apprenticeship.
So, Fida, what about you? What was your personal motivation for choosing your degree apprenticeship?
You know what? The same thing with Shaz. Because I had my mum beside me from day one. And it's the fact that, okay, do you know what? There's me speaking to loads and loads of people, like my friends, some family, and everything. I realized, and I've always known this, that my mum was such a big supporter in like my whole life and everything. Like she's the one who even got me to all the work experience I've done to even get into the apprenticeship. Like my whole education, my mom invested so much into it. As in, I was
Yeah,
in tuition, I was in like extracurricular activities, everything. As in extra science lessons after school, like straight after school. I remember going all the way to like Woolwich, 2 hours science lessons, coming back home, doing math lessons, doing English lessons, and I was like, wow. And even now, so happy that like I can tell my mom, oh, didn't like fail or anything, because every
yeah,
all the energy and effort and time that you put into bringing me up into basically who I am today, it didn't go to waste. Especially if it
absolutely.
wasn't money. If you guys do tuition and stuff, you guys know how much money that is.
Yeah, that's
And
pricey. I
even
remember
some
I used
people
to go as well. Yeah,
cost a lot. So I love telling my mom that it ain't going to waste. I'm here. But no, honestly, my mom was such a big support, and she really, really put her energy into getting me like the best future possible. Because as every like parent wants, they will, like want a better future than they had for their children,
mm,
which I've realized, and I'm very, very thankful for. But my mom really invested a lot of time into me, and not to say that with the same like you said, your mom sends you everything day to day when you're
yeah,
applying for apprenticeship, motivating you, everything. Yeah. I like guys with your mothers, your fathers, your parents, your guardians, whoever looks after you, and like telling you, oh, this is good for you and stuff like that. They actually sometimes know what they're talking about. I know
yeah,
sometimes y'all don't want to hear it, and you're like, yeah, no, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. Because there were times that my mom sent me stuff, I was like, yeah, I'm tired because obviously it was consistent. I'm like, yeah, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. But some of those were actually the ones that I spoke about in my CVs and that got me
mm,
into like my. Well, I'm hoping got me into my apprenticeship, but I know I definitely spoke about it a lot. It was something that if anyone asked me about what work experience do you do, that was the one I spoke about a lot, which was what
mm.
my mum sent me. So if it wasn't for my mum, I don't think I would even know about apprenticeships. Even though
Shout out to the
I
moms,
did have
man.
to kind of shout out to the moms, the parents, guardians taking care of you, everything. Shout out to all of you because honestly, you really put your energy and efforts into like all your children. Like even if they're not your children, like it's a lot, and I know how a lot is. I'm the older sibling, so I go
Same.
through a lot as well. But anyways, yeah. Um, when they're sending you things and you're thinking, oh yeah, you don't want to do it, or like it's too much. They know what they're talking about. It's just sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you got to pull through. Getting an apprenticeship is not easy, especially in this day and age. Like it's getting harder, especially since every single person knows about it.
Yeah,
It's gonna be harder for you guys to get into it. So definitely put as much effort and energy as someone else is putting into you, and like all the faith and the motivation they're giving you. Put that same energy into when you're applying. Because I really would not know about apprenticeships, even though it did take. Yeah, I was gonna say it did take a little bit of convincing to my mom to actually get me into apprenticeship because obviously she didn't know like what that really was. Because during when we applied, guys, it wasn't like that known, was it? It wasn't too known. It
it
was
was.
there,
Yeah, it
but
was.
it
It was
wasn't.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so my mom did all of that, thinking I was going to go to uni and all that. Technically, I'm still going to uni because I remember she still wanted to do the whole, oh, drop your daughter to like the first uni day. She did that. Yeah, we went to go tour the whole uni grounds before anyone else did. So she
yeah. I
still had
didn't.
that
To be fair,
experience.
yeah, I didn't
So
go to
I
the
still gave it
university
to her.
before. Yeah, that's really good.
And literally, my mom wanted the whole experience, like, because I had to convince her a little. Because when I told her apprenticeship, I can't lie to you, or she said no. She was like, no. But when I told her degree apprenticeship,
Yeah,
no,
with the
life
word
will
degree,
switch.
the word degree. Yeah, when I said to my dad, like, Dad, I want to do an apprenticeship. He goes, huh? Like, what's an apprenticeship, bro? He didn't say bro, obviously, but anyway, I was like, but I was like, I'll get paid to do a job and I get a qualification out of it. And he was like, forget your qualification. I said, it's a degree. He was like, do it, do the degree. I'm like, let's go. So then,
Yeah.
I started applying with the support of
They
my
hear that special
family as
word
well.
degree.
That special word.
Yeah, and like yeah, like basically the uni equivalent to computer science degree that I wanted to actually study in
Mm,
university. I get that anyways with the apprenticeship.
yeah.
She keeps telling everyone, like she's very proud. That's what I'll say. So she'll be like to everyone, "Oh yeah, my daughter's doing an apprenticeship and she gets paid to go to uni." And she's alright. She loves it. She does tell it everyone. I remember my first year, I was getting calls from aunts and uncles and everyone saying, "Oh my god, your mom told me you're doing this." And I'm just like, "Oh, I haven't spoken to you in ages, but hi."
Yeah,
Like,
that's what
I
the
know how
moms
you know what
do.
I'm doing.
You know the WhatsApp group chats, all the moms share everything on that. Like I remember, I went to like some wedding, and this cousin I haven't seen in years, he goes, "Yeah, Shaz, the apprenticeship guy." I'm like, broski, I ain't speaking to you for 5 years. How do you know I'm doing an apprenticeship?
Honestly,
It's the
yeah.
moms and the aunties, they spread it everywhere. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah,
Jill, what was that one thing that made you get an apprenticeship? How about that? Because we've been waffling on
we've been
about our
waffling now,
mums.
man.
I'm gonna have my mum watch
Uh,
this and be like, yeah, I talked about you for like the whole podcast.
and I'm sure they're going to be very happy to watch that and see how appreciated they are. Um, for me, it's wonderful that you guys had, that your mum's there and they backed you a lot. I also had my mum there, but for me, the main motivation to pursue a degree apprenticeship was that my time at university was not what it was promised.
mm,
I feel like I got the short end of the stick there, as I feel most people do when they go to university. So I went the very traditional route. I did my GCSEs, I did A levels, I did maths, chemistry, and physics, and then I got into university, and it was for mechanical engineering. Now, throughout my entire secondary school life, I was, being sort of pressured to go to university. At this
mm,
point, apprenticeships were known as, if someone's an apprentice, they're doing hard labor and they're on construction sites. There was no thing or it wasn't as popular to do a tech apprenticeship. That entire idea wasn't even, implemented yet. It was just labor.
yeah,
And I wasn't allowed like, I didn't discover that this was a thing only until super late, 2 years into my university degree, which sucks. So that's one of the main reasons I like this podcast, because if my younger self was watching this before applying to university, I would, you know, drop everything and go and apply to as many degree apprenticeships as I could and scrap university altogether. Again, everyone's different. University might be better for you. Personally, it is very stressful, not only the content you have to learn, again, like Shaz said earlier in the podcast, it's a lot of theory. And if your university does not have the facilities to do the practical elements, you are going to be extremely bored if you're not super passionate about, in my case, it was physics and
oh bloody hell.
thermodynamics, fluid dynamics.
Imagine, no.
There must be like 5 people on this earth that are super passionate about
I'm
it.
falling
Like,
asleep already.
don't get me wrong, it's interesting, but it gets to a point where it's like, no, enough is enough. And
Yeah.
so yeah, theory wise, it overloads you, and financially it can be, very stressful as well. You have to manage your finances very responsibly, and 90% of the time you will need to get a second job, or sorry, another job while you're at university,
Mm,
just to fund yourself,
yeah.
because the maintenance loan you receive is not enough. It won't be enough. And if you're somehow surviving off that, which I've been in your shoes, if someone at university is listening to this, you're living off them. Instant ramens. It
Pot
is
noodle.
dreadful. It is not good. It is not a
Mm,
good living. And it's like, so if you're getting another job just to study university and be in debt, you might as well do a degree apprenticeship. They're sponsoring you for this degree. You're getting a salary. You're going to be way better off. And I'm so glad I did. Finally, I feel financially comfortable. I'm getting invaluable experience. So my main motivator was one, for me, personal development is massive. Like, I want to constantly develop myself. I want to get as much qualifications and experience under my belt.
Period.
The degree apprenticeship does that in spades, right? It gives
Yeah.
you best of both worlds. And again, that financial thing, it was big to me at the time because student finance were being so annoying.
Uh,
Just save yourself the stress. Don't go through that system. It is a nightmare, absolute nightmare. So that was another big motivator. And I would be lying if I said my mom didn't help me. She did. She was a big, big influence. Like you guys said, she was sending me links, and
yeah.
I discovered, degree apprenticeship through one of her links, and I really went for it. So
Let's
thank
get
you,
W
mother.
W
Lovely.
W moms in the chat.
I told the
W
moms,
moms
the
in the comment.
parents.
W moms. Come on, let's get that in the chat. Anyway, yeah, that's, to be honest, Joe.
Yeah,
I feel
get
like
carried away.
I was gonna kind of touch upon that as well. Obviously, like, you knowing what the university life is like is what pushed you to kind of get away from it in a sense and
Yeah.
get you into the apprenticeship, kind of apprenticeship scheme, whatever it may be. But I guess the next question then I wanted to ask you guys is because I feel like a lot of people, they want to know this and they're watching this, and I know even you, Joe, said that the degree apprenticeship is a win-win. It's like, I don't see any reason why someone wouldn't do it, but a lot of people don't get it, and I think the main reason why a lot of people don't get it is because of their strategy. And I feel like now is the best time to kind of talk about our own individual strategies, what we did when we applied, how we prepared, all that good stuff. So, who wants to do the honors and give their own strategy?
When you say strategy, I didn't really have a strategy. I had school and I had my mom. That's all I had, and that's
Same,
all.
yeah.
Most of you, that's all you have too. Like, Joe, why are we laughing?
No, because it's fair enough.
Yeah.
Some people don't have
Yeah,
this detailed plan when they're applying. They
Mm.
just have
I did
the
not.
support of their family, and yeah.
Yeah, because with everything I'm doing now, everyone thinks that I had loads of support, loads of this, and I'm very lucky. Guys, I didn't even have a plan on how I got here. I'm lucky I even got here. Like, there's a whole story behind that. But no, honestly, all I had was my mum, family, school. That's literally all I had. And it's the fact that I opened my voice up to school to even let them know that I was looking into apprenticeships, because actually they're the ones who provided me with all the help too. So let me start with my sixth form like leader. If you guys had that, because obviously I had did sixth form, so I did year 12 and year 13, did A levels. That was it. So halfway through year 12, I went to my sixth form head and I told her, "Oh, I'm interested in apprenticeships." I just heard the word from one of the links my mom sent me, and I'm like, "Can you help me or provide like anything?" Now this woman, oh my god, bless her, because she had, I don't know if she had connections or whatever. She was saying her husband, I think, actually works for BT, something along those lines, and that doing like I don't know if any of you had career fairs in your school. We actually
Mm,
had those
I
in our
didn't
school.
know, yeah.
So
I did,
that's
yeah.
the same. We all had different experiences. So we had career fairs in our school, and she got BT, PwC, people doing apprenticeships to come to this careers fair just because I've told her that, oh, I'm interested in apprenticeships. Obviously, not just because of me. It benefits everyone, all of the sixth form students and everyone in the school. But I feel like if I didn't open my voice, people wouldn't know that, oh, I'm interested in apprenticeships, because every
Yeah.
time I heard about something maybe outside, because obviously teachers actually have a life, which I find surprising. But yeah, um, honestly, yeah, maybe she hears something. The first person she will now think of is me, because I've told her, "Oh, I'm interested in apprenticeships. I really think I want to get into it. I'm still gonna apply for uni, but I'm really thinking an apprenticeship can be something I want to get into." So she was now the one sending me to everywhere. We had talks with PwC. We had PwC literally come into the school, talk to us. Then we also had a, what was it? There was this, you know when you have like calls, like a call we're having now. She literally set up one with our HR lady in, what was the firm in now? It was, it wasn't the gov.uk website, but it was a part of them. And I was
Yeah.
like, interesting. Okay. HMRC, there we go. Is it that? HMRC?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
tax people.
Anyways, so we had calls and I was like asking them loads and loads of questions of just like how to get an apprenticeship and all that stuff. But she provided me with all of that. Like she had me doing all of these things and then that's what like piqued my interest. I was like, okay, let me continue doing this. I'm finding out more because obviously with a degree apprenticeship, there's a lot like you can go into with IT because IT is cybersecurity, IT consultant, I was doing software engineering, everything. So I was asking specific questions that I needed to answer because I was into data analytics. At least I thought I was. I'm not in the data analytics route right now, but I thought I was into data analytics, and I was like, I need to ask questions about this, this, and this because I'm hearing different things. Google's telling me different things when I search it up. I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. But I was like, all these different types of calls and meeting people when they came to careers fairs really helped a lot because I was able to ask loads of questions directly to like what I want to go into. Which then
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like you need to open up your voice and ask questions. Let people know that I need help. I'm interested in apprenticeships because if you don't know. Like your mom could know some aunt or one family member. No, it's honest. Like they could know someone who's in that field or even in the field of tech who can then go and ask someone in their industry, oh, I have a niece or nephew or friends that is interested. Can you provide any insight? Like, guys, really opening your voices up brings up like breaks a lot of barriers because you get that personal connection. Like you're able to ask personalized questions. Because I'm out here opening Google and asking questions. I'm just like, you're not giving me an answer that I'm looking for. You're just telling me the broadness of like what everyone else has told me. But when you get to know someone or you can speak to someone, you get to ask those direct questions. So that's kind of what I based my whole strategy on was me asking so many questions about what I want to go into and having my mum beside me telling her every little detail. Mum, I've applied for this. I'm doing this now. I'm going to this work experience. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And she would just help me, continue helping me, sending me things, providing that support of like when I went through rejections, which we'll get into later, but when I went through rejections and stuff like that, she was like, it's okay, we still have more, or she'll send me more to apply to. You have to keep applying, you have to open your voice. It's a lot, but have that confidence to even speak about it. Like, let people know that you're interested. So, yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I think with me as well, it's with I didn't really have a strategy either like Fider, but I did take away a few things, which it kind of like built up a strategy as I went along applying. Um, so first things first, I just gave it a go because with every application process, you gotta just give it a go. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be the best application in the world, but you need to put something there. So I started applying to loads. I remember BT, Veolia, company called Arup, loads of different uh
Mm.
places doing technology based apprenticeships, and there was a point where the ones which I kind of wanted, they were gone in terms of like digital technology solutions and all that kind of stuff. And actually really wanted to go into cybersecurity as well. But all of them, they were taken. And then there were some ones which I really didn't want to do, and they were based in London, which would mean I'd have to relocate or something. So it would be like customer UX or just different types of. There's so many different types of technology, digital technology based apprenticeships. So I was applying for like every single type. I'm talking cybersecurity, data analyst, loads, and I feel like as it went by, I started realizing that I'd rather apply for an apprenticeship in an IT based role, even if it's something I don't really want to do in IT, than go to university. So I just kept applying anyway, and
So
there
you
was
were
a
going to go
point
to
where
university after?
no, as in, so basically when I was applying, I thought to myself, I've got all these apprenticeships here, and I wanted to either go into something cybersecurity or what we're doing now, which is the digital technology solutions. I didn't really want to go into like data analytics or any of the other ones like software development. I didn't really want to go into that. So, but I thought to myself, I'm gonna apply to these anyway because it beats going to uni. So I applied to all.
Oh.
So I applied to all of them, and I started realizing, and then I got to a few assessment centers, I believe, um, and I got to a few of those, those video interview ones. I got to a few of them,
Yeah, yeah.
and we'll do a later episode on our personal tips on how to get through each of those stages. But this is just more of a general
I
one.
don't even know how I got through that. I don't know how.
I don't know how I got through the video one as well. I remember on my video interview I was not ready, but anyway, so what I learned is as I went to these assessment centers, I emailed the company. Like if I didn't get through, I emailed the company and I said to them, "Look, what did I do wrong? How can I improve?" And a lot of the time, sometimes the company just won't care about you. They'll air you. They'll think you're some guy on the street. Who cares about this guy? Forget them. But sometimes you'll get the case where the company will respond to you and say, "Look, you could have worked on this. You could have worked on that." So I made a note of all those things, and after what 30, 40 different applications, I got to a point where I was like, I was application ready. Like I knew what I needed to do because again, it's just practice, practice, practice. So then I did the BT one, and actually I got one with I got another offer from Veolia as well, a level 4 apprenticeship. So I would have been
Uh,
I would have been happy with that as well, a level 4 apprenticeship. I was thinking, no man, like I don't really want to do a level 4. I want to get a degree. So I just kept applying. I didn't give up, and then eventually I got the BT one. But I think my overall strategy was just, I guess it was just like brute force, in the sense that
yeah.
there was not really any there was not really any kind of step by step bulletproof plan on how to get an apprenticeship 101. It was nothing like that. It was more so just keep applying as much as you can, and anything you can take away from what you've learned in previous applications, just add that on. And it's just like, it's like, you have a foundation when you build a house, and then you just add the bricks on, and you just keep doing that over time. You gotta place your first brick. You know what I mean? The first application is that first brick, and just keep placing on top of it, and you'll build a house and get an apprenticeship. You know what I mean? It's probably a weird analogy, I know, but I feel like it would work there.
I
You
get
have
you.
something to say
I
about
get it.
that.
I'm not doing a
No, I
bricklaying
get.
apprenticeship, by the way.
I get the analogy. It's good. It's funny because you mentioned how you were doing like this brute force strategy. So I'm just thinking you're putting the bricks anywhere, and eventually
Oh
it'll
yeah,
build into a house.
yeah.
It's
Oh
like
no.
there's bricks on the
Or I'm just
road,
breaking the house down, brute force, just breaking it down. But
But
yeah,
uh, yeah, a big point which I really liked from you, Shaz, was that you try to get feedback.
yeah,
That is it. Yeah, really, really useful stuff. Obviously, like you said, they're just gonna ghost you half the time because they
yeah.
can't. They're not even gonna put in the effort. But that small percentage that do, crazy good experience. Um, but yeah, for me, uh, it was weird because I originally started applying for apprenticeships that were a bit lower level, and not degree level, because I think I had this hatred for universities, and I just didn't
Fair
want to
enough.
touch
Fair
it.
enough.
I was
Um,
traumatized.
I just wanted to get as much work experience as possible, and I got to the like final in-person interviews a few times, but both times, even though I thought I was a strong candidate, and I even got feedback from the interviewers saying you were amazing, I didn't get the role. And in my second final interview for a position, they literally told me, "We think you're." This is gonna sound stupid, but they didn't think I was the right fit because I had too much experience.
Uh, mm,
So, and they
Really?
recommended, hey, don't go for
yeah.
this lower level apprenticeship. Try and achieve that degree one. And I was like, you know what? I'll try. And funnily enough, I stumbled across BT. I did look at Samsung and a few other companies, but I have history with BT, be it internet
Oh,
Good old broadband.
consumer my entire
oh
life.
wow.
I had to deal with a lot of BT's lovely internet issues, but uh, you know,
Something about
uh,
that.
a lot of my childhood, I spent playing games, and a good internet was, important. So BT did back me on that. But Anyway, degree apprenticeship. I looked at BTs and I thought, okay, this has to be it. I need to get this. I can't afford to mess around here. So I really took my time. I evaluated everything they wanted and needed. I made a cover letter. I made a separate CV just for them.
Yeah.
So I ticked all the boxes, and thankfully I got through. But if I was to do it all over again, knowing the knowledge I have now, is LinkedIn is your best friend in the corporate space. So
Yeah.
even if you don't have anything to put on your profile, just make one so you can have the opportunity to reach out to people in the field you're interested in.
Yeah.
So let's say you are, after this, you're like, oh, degree apprenticeship sound great, but what field do I go into? You hop on LinkedIn, you find people in networking, in cybersecurity, in programming. They'll be more than happy just to answer your questions. You know, and you can get that, build a relationship with them and get that, really valuable knowledge that you need, that I wish I had. Because not only does it help you in your career, but it helps you pass those interviews because you know what that company's looking for out of an apprentice. So that's one thing I would definitely change. Just like Fida said earlier, get your voice out there, show your interest. Companies
Yeah.
love that,
Yeah,
They
putting
absolutely.
do.
yourself out there. Yeah.
And just adding to that as well is like we're basically talking about social media presence here, and like as I think we mentioned this on the last episode as well, but these companies do their background and they see like your digital footprint and all that kind of stuff, and you could also use that to your advantage, like Joe's saying, um, with LinkedIn. Even for example, let's say you right now, yeah, you've done your A levels, you're looking to do an apprenticeship, and you're watching this podcast right now. Take a picture of the podcast and just write a nice little LinkedIn post saying, "Look, today I watched a podcast all about apprenticeships," something like that. Just because it shows your interest, or you could make like a little TikTok showing that today here's a day in the life as a student, and then just show
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you're interested in apprenticeships, because that kind of stuff really demonstrates your interest, and it shows that you're not just looking for an apprenticeship, but you're willing to go above and beyond on your socials and that kind of stuff as well. So that's a big one, and it's something I didn't really do. It's something I realized afterwards when the importance of LinkedIn, and I'm sure we'll do an episode on. We could do a whole episode on LinkedIn, but the importance of LinkedIn,
Be honest, because
yeah, like the importance of LinkedIn, I realized after doing my apprenticeship. But I feel like I've said this to a lot of students as well, that you know, get that LinkedIn going. Add a nice little profile picture, add a nice bio, get some posts going up, and these employers, you'd be surprised that they do search you up. Because when I'm on my LinkedIn, like BT group viewed your profile, or I don't know, someone viewed, you'll see that people are actually going to view your profile if you demonstrate that interest, because you'll pop up on the algorithm or whatnot. So
yeah,
social media is very, very important. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. But as we've all said, as I agree with Shaz, again, get that feedback because that's adds to what I said about communication, getting your voice out there. It helps, and I really commend what you did there because getting that feedback is a rare thing people do, but some people will actually respond to you, and then you get to
Yeah.
know that, oh, this I did wrong, and then you can work on that. And Jill, don't worry, I can relate because I was told I have too much experience and I couldn't get some things, and I was just like, wow. Imagine being told you have too much experience.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I've never had
you
that, to
know
be
what
honest.
you're doing.
Yeah, I feel like I got lucky a little bit because my T level, it was, like I said in the last episode, it was a reverse apprenticeship. So I had enough experience to go into the next step, which would be an apprenticeship. So I kind of had a good baseline, I'd say, but not too much. Like I know, Fida, you did a lot of work experience, right? I don't. But
That's
Joe,
the
did you
thing.
do a
I
lot of work
actually
experience as
did.
well?
I didn't do
I
Yeah.
did.
a lot. I did, I think, two kind of like big ones, and then the rest were like kind of like podcastings and like career events, which I just talked about. So even the little things, guys, they get you noticed. So as
True.
Jill actually said, LinkedIn. I swear to God, I'm gonna out someone on here. I'm not gonna mention his name. However, I told this person who was into apprenticeships, I'm not coming for him. He knows what I'm talking about though when he watches this. I told him he doesn't have a LinkedIn, and I told him to set up a LinkedIn. And then he responded to me saying, I don't want to set up a LinkedIn because I have nothing to post about. I don't have a picture ready, nothing. guys, when I first opened LinkedIn, I didn't even have a picture. I didn't even have like. If
Yeah,
you go to my LinkedIn now, Ida Oki, that's my LinkedIn. Um, Now you see banner up there, loads of posts, my picture professionally taken. As back in the day when I first opened, absolutely nothing on there. But to open a LinkedIn is not just for you to post about, oh, you did this, you did this, you did this. You can also talk to people. It's crazy, right? You can talk to people on LinkedIn. But yeah, no, seriously, you can actually talk to people. It's kind of like your Instagram, your Facebook. You can
yeah,
talk to people. You don't have to have post your picture there, anything. But know that, oh, you're interested. You can literally type up. If I'm on LinkedIn now, type up, oh, data analytics apprentices. It will come up with people doing a data analytics apprenticeship in PwC, BT, Google, anything, and you can message them. And guys, this is so helpful because you can now ask direct questions. You see, it all adds
yeah,
up.
yeah. See, I remember.
Get your voice out there.
I think it was a while back. It was someone who was, again, I'm not gonna name any names, but it was someone who wanted to do an apprenticeship ages ago. This was like not ages ago, but like I'd say a year and a half ago. As soon as I started my apprenticeship and stuff, and I started panning out my LinkedIn and whatnot, and then someone messaged me. It was like an aspiring apprentice, and he was asking me, like, "Yo, Shaz, like, can you give me some advice?" Like, I've never met this guy before as well. Like, he just found me off my LinkedIn. He goes, "Shaz, can you give me some advice? Like, I really want to get an apprenticeship and stuff like that." So I gave him advice, and like now he's got an apprenticeship, and that just feels really good that you're able to help someone just off your LinkedIn. You know what I mean? It's crazy to even think about it, but stuff like that. Like, I feel like with LinkedIn, a lot of these apprentices, if you just drop them a message, a lot of them will be willing to help you out and just kind of give you some advice. But yeah.
Yeah, the amount of people that have reached out to me on not even my LinkedIn, my TikTok as well, and we've actually answered one of the questions that he or she asked me, and it was about, oh, how do I show my interest? This is how you show your interest. Getting
Mm,
into, you don't even have to go to big work experience. As I said, you can literally attend career events and post that on your LinkedIn, or you don't even have to post. You can talk to people. And one of my colleagues, you guys know Aisha, someone was messaging her because he was an aspiring apprentice, and she was there giving advice, everything, and it was like really. I was like, oh, this is really sweet. I wish I did this. Something I didn't do, and I wish I did. So really take advantage of everything you have around you, because the world is so advanced right now, and you literally have everything at your fingertips.
yeah.
You literally do. So please.
I think the main thing to say from this then is with the application process, just just don't give up. I'd say, like, I think complacency is what's going to stop you from getting an apprenticeship. I mean, I'm sure we can all agree here that the only reason we got an apprenticeship is because we applied. It just makes the most sense, and it's like the more you apply, for example, the more, if you're a footballer, the more shots you take, the more chances you get of scoring a goal, brev. You know what I mean? So the more you the more you get that shot, the more you take that shot, I mean, the more chances you get. And I think that, and as the more you learn, the more you grow. So yeah, you get what I'm
But
saying, Joe?
also, don't underestimate a good plan. Okay,
Yeah, and also the goalkeeper,
dedication and plan.
the goalkeeper could be a very strong goalkeeper. So make sure you're practicing your applications. Yes. So
We've
yeah,
Yes,
given you guys a plan now, so you guys don't have an excuse to not have a plan.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
exactly. It'll make your
I've
life
seen
so much easier.
I've seen a few people like log their apprenticeships on like the applications on spreadsheets. So it'd have like application one, then the company, and then the status of the application, and then it'll have like a note section. So in that note section, you could maybe put something like, I learned from this that I had too much experience or something. I don't know. You could just put that in the notes for that application. So then as you go down and read that log, you'll see, okay, I need to work on that. I need to work on, and you can pinpoint that all in one place. I feel like what I'll do then is, for everyone watching, is I'll actually create a template for you guys, a spreadsheet template where you guys can log all your applications. I feel like that would be very, very useful for you guys.
Aww.
So I'll link that in the comments as well. So yeah, I'll drop a template soon. By the time this episode comes out, we'll have a custom made pathway to profession application tracker in the works. So hopefully that will help you guys out.
Love that. Action, guys, action.
Take action.
Anyways, before we continue waffling on, because we can waffle for ages, as you can tell,
You can
let's
waffle
talk
for
about our
ages, not me.
CVs.
I'm joking.
mean,
You
anyway,
both can.
all right,
Joe's the
cool.
yeah, Joe's the
Very
only one.
violent.
Joe's the only one who don't waffle here. To be fair.
Yeah, anyways. Sure. We'll talk about our CVs, guys. Any advice or what did you include on your CV that you think you need to share with us?
I feel like it's what Joe was saying as well. It's the fact that I kind of for each application I did, depending on the application, I didn't fully change it, but I kind of tailored it a little bit to make it sound more
Mm.
suited towards the role I'm applying for. So, for example, if I was applying for a generic digital and technology solutions one, then I'd include all my IT experience on it. But if I was applying for a cybersecurity based role, I'd add more cybersecurity based experience in the CV so it looks so when they're reading that CV, they kind of see the traits which a person of that role would have. So I kind of for each application I kind of tailored it and stuff like that. That's what I would say. And again, it's about those keywords, about those skills, about those competencies, about that work experience. Again, put your grades at the top because at the end of the day, a lot of employers they look at the grades and if you ain't got the grades, then they just skip past your application. So make sure your grades are there. Add your name, add an email address, all that kind of stuff is it will be important for your CV. But
The
again,
basic stuff
yeah, we'll have. I
you
think
should have.
I feel like I say in around 2 3 weeks time we should have like a good CV cover letter workshop podcast, and we'll just I feel like if our watchers you can send us some of your CVs in. I mean we ain't gonna bait your whole government name out here on the podcast. We'll blur it or something, but we can just have a look at your guys' different CVs and see how we can improve it, and we can also share our own and stuff. So yeah.
Or just don't put your real information on. That's great too. Just get rid of your
We'll
personal
just
Yeah,
delete the
details.
whole thing.
just remove your name because obviously we don't want to put your whole address and name on there. So obviously just remove that. But I feel like that would
We
be a
will
good
delete it.
episode for future.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it will be.
But guys, cover letters, man. I feel like with me, I did not do a cover letter. I mean, if I did, I don't remember because I feel like in my head they didn't have that much significance. But I feel like they are important and they do need to be discussed. So let's just speak to the only person who did do a cover letter here, which was Joe. Yeah, I got good
It
memory.
was
Is you right? You're the one who did the cover letter, right? So yeah, okay.
I did do a cover letter, yes. Um, just quickly touching back on CVs, I just want to stress that, and I'm going to be brutally honest here because it's unfair how they're checking CVs nowadays, but I don't blame companies because they receive so many CVs. You will not be seen, your CV will not be seen by a human until it passes certain checks. So to abuse the system and get through the robots and the AI, make sure you're including as many keywords from the job description in the post as possible. That is very important. And then try to align your own achievements with those keywords and key skills they're looking for. And another big thing is people don't quantify their achievements. You gotta put big numbers there. Numbers are great because when they're skimming through your CV, when it does finally reach a human, they want to see what value you added. If you say, "Oh, I sold, this many biscuits or something," that doesn't really show me that much. But if you say, "I sold 2,000 biscuits and I brought in this much revenue for the business," that looks a lot better than "I sold some biscuits at a company," right?
You want the
Your
statistics?
yeah, numbers are amazing. And again, grammar mistakes don't please proofread your stuff.
Oh
If you have
bloody
grammar
hell!
mistakes, it's going to be really, really bad.
Just download
Um,
Grammarly. Download Grammarly. We're
yeah,
not
Even
sponsored,
yeah.
by the
getting
way.
someone
Just
else
download it.
to check it.
It's amazing.
Yes, what Fida said, peer reviewing, like get someone else to read it and double check it. And going back to LinkedIn, there's a lot of CV specialists there, and they'll be more than happy to look at your CV for free. So again, LinkedIn being a super useful tool. Um, yeah, just highlight your achievements, keep it concise, relevant, make sure you have those keywords, quantify your stuff. Yeah. And no, please, if you're using a template like where it has your picture and then a bunch of bright colors, don't do that. Don't don't do that. Keep it black text. Keep it simple because when some companies like to print it out, and when you have all that stuff on there, it's really bad. And but the main reason you don't want to have colors and flashy stuff and pictures and shapes is again because their system that is already in place might reject your CV just because of that. So
I didn't know that. Wait, how do you know this?
But I think my CV's got colours and shapes, I believe.
I keep myself educated and I talk to the right people. It's...
You see,
You might have
guys,
you might have to connect us then, Joe.
Yeah, literally, you have a real CV editor right here. Like,
We need to
come on,
get
take
we
on
need
notes.
you know these connections of yours. We need to get them on the podcast.
Potentially, yeah, they could
Yeah.
help you structure a good CV. Yeah, but
Because we're
yeah,
not professional, by the way. So, like,
no, I just know a few things.
we have tips to give you guys, but we can't tell you, oh, if you do this, this, and this, you're gonna get into a job. It depends on how you do it. Yes, we're
Depends on the
giving you
job as
advice.
well.
Take the advice. It depends on the job and it depends on what you're doing to obviously achieve what you need to achieve to get into the job. So
Absolutely.
it's a lot, but we cannot guarantee you guys like a job placement with everything that we're saying. Like, we'll take the advice. That is true.
No, I mean, but if they follow all of our like advice step by step, I think they've got, you know,
You've got a
100
very
times
good
better
chance.
chance than someone who doesn't listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So someone who doesn't listen to this, well, you should be listening then, because we have good advice. Again, someone has been talking to those people who read your CVs, and we have advice to give you that would potentially get you to that step. It will get you in the right direction at least. So that's what we're trying to provide with you guys, anyways. But before I add anything, I'll let Joe finish with his advice
Thank you.
with the cover letters.
Yes. Just the last bit on CVs before I move on to cover letters. A lot of people, I've been in this position myself, is where the hell do I begin? I'm looking at a blank page and I don't know how to structure it. The best templates I can give you, specifically if you're going into a tech industry, is look up FANG CVs. You know, this is your top tech companies, your Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, right? Them lot. Look at the FANG companies. Look at people who managed to pass the interview stage with their CVs. There's going to be a lot of like exemplar templates out there, and all of them will have very minimal and, like I said, black and white. Just and follow, you know, their structure. And if you're missing something like a project or some work experience, at least now you're in the right path on building that better CV, and you're not just stuck on a blank screen. At least it gives you guidance. Moving on to cover letters quickly. The reason why cover letters are amazing is, again, once you get through the robots and the system and a human reads your CV, to stand out from the rest, because a lot of the people applying for your position will have the grades and the experience. A cover letter adds that personal touch to the person reading it. They can relate to you more as a human, because your CVs are going to be just a list of achievements, and it's not very human. It's like, you know, just a bunch of numbers, a bunch of grades, and it's not, you know, very appealing. That cover letter really expresses why you as an individual are interested. And if you can get that point across, you know, you're checking both boxes. You're a real person with amazing achievements. Ta-da! The perfect match. You're not just some robot person who can't talk to people and, you know, just studies all the time. Because you'll find a lot of the time, even in the tech industry, is that even if you have perfect grades and you've worked on these amazing projects, if you don't have those soft skills where you can't communicate with people, you're going to struggle a lot. And
Absolutely.
you might not even pass the interview stage. I remember this one person, I'm not going to, you know, explain or, you know, dox too many details from him, but they went to an extremely, you know, renowned university within the UK studying computer science. And he had the most stacked CV I've ever seen. And I thought there's no chance he doesn't get into this position. Turns out he was rejected because he didn't have those soft skills. But the people who had, you know, they attended lesser universities than him, they got in. So again, what I'm trying to say is with this cover letter, it introduces them to you, shows that you're good at communicating, shows that you have those soft skills and why you're so passionate about the position. It's a big game changer. It sets you apart. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm done.
No, but I think I definitely agree with you there as well. I feel like I touched upon this last week as well, and it's like if these companies wanted to hire robots, they would have done it. They want people who
Yeah.
can, they want people who can talk. They want people who can communicate. They want people who can lead. They want people who can work good as a team. All these kinds of aspects, they're looking for that because, like, I know the importance of these soft skills, especially since as I've been working as well at BT. You know, working in different teams and communicating with all sorts of different people. You have to have those skills ready on hand because there might be a time where you'll have to speak to a customer, or there might be a time where you have to deliver a presentation. You could be the smartest guy in the world. You could be Albert Einstein for all I care. Anyway, if you don't have those soft skills in place, then why would a company hire you in the first place? You need to show the human side of yourself as well a little bit, because that's what these companies are paying for basically. Otherwise, they can just get robots. ChatGPT is a thing now, and Microsoft Copilot and all those things. They can literally get everything automated if they wanted to, but no, they're getting humans. So just show your human side a little bit. You know what I mean? Like show that you can
Your
talk.
personality.
Your personality, show your personality, and just show that you can, you know, I don't know, just be human.
Yeah, I think Shaz, you were making a good point there. Is you can be Albert Einstein of computer science, you can know everything, but if you can't apply that knowledge and teach other people or explain your thought process, it is really redundant. Because, like you said, AI is happening now, and it's a big game changer. Because all the Albert Einsteins, they're getting replaced. All the back end room people, they're gonna
Yeah.
slowly getting start to get shifted away. Obviously, it's not that bad. If you're a software programmer and you're still interested in software, go for it, because you're not going to get replaced by a robot, but your skills are going to be a lot less valuable than someone who can communicate and also knows tech.
Yeah, exactly. And
Just, I was quickly going to wrap it up with when it comes to business and the corporate world, even tech, it's always going to be human to human. It's, robots can replace as much of the business as possible, but at the end of the day, it's going to be humans talking to humans, and you need to have that skill.
and
Lovely.
just building on that as well is like no one's telling you to be a Rishi Sunak or Donald Trump or Joe Biden. No one's telling you to get on a stage and just speak. It's just I'm talking just very basic communication skills here, and a lot of people lack that. I
Yeah.
think so. No one's telling you to just be able to speak like you're Santan Dave on Question Time. No one's telling you to do that. It's just to have a level of personality. That's all we're saying. Just be yourself and talk. Like even if it's something that you think the employers won't be interested in, you never know. I remember I was talking to like in the interview process, you got to make it more like a conversation, more like a chat. Because I remember when I was talking to the interviewer, I'm pretty sure I was talking about some random, just about gaming and stuff like that. All these kinds of things. Make it conversational, make it casual. Once you can flip the script, that make the interviewer think you're more of a human and more of a like you. They'll remember your
More of a people
personality.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Can't lie, I feel like that's what got me into through the assessment center, because I was dreading the interview stage. However, when I got there and I made it into a conversation, I was like, wait a minute, this isn't that bad. And
Yeah.
then that set me up for like the rest of the day, because obviously the assessment center was like a day thing. Just to reiterate what these guys said, not adding anything else, because they pretty much covered everything that I was gonna say about adding to your CVs. Jill covered letters, but I want to really reinforce the fact that you guys should read your job descriptions before applying to the job, because you're applying to a job and you haven't read the job description. It's a pretty basic thing you think some people would do, but most of you do not. And guys, that's why you're not getting through to the stages. You're not passing, as Jill said, these things get passed through systems before they even read for humans. So if you're not doing a simple thing of reading the job description, attaching the skills or whatever the job description says within your CV, then would you really expect for it to go further? No. But I just want to reiterate that fact because it's really important. But I also use something called Barclays Life Skills, guys. They helped me write my CV. Also, actually, my mentor from network I'm part of back in the day called Urban Synergy. But I also use Barclays Life Skills to help me with my CV process, my interview process, all those little things. Jill, have you actually used Barclays Life Skills?
I have not. No.
I use
Oh.
Unifrog. I think that's the
Something you guys need
closest.
to use them. Barclays Life Skills. I should be sponsors for this video. But
Literally.
no,
And
Barclays
LinkedIn.
Life
LinkedIn
Skills.
and Barclays Life Skills. They should sponsor this.
Honestly, those two things helped me a lot. Well, Barclays Life Skills I used a lot for my interview process and my CV. So that's how I got here. But that's what I have to say to get into your CV cut now because that's a lot of pauses.
All right, fine. I know what you're trying to say. Make sure you're not just copy and pasting your CV and sending it, blah, 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 and use Berkeley's life skills to help you craft that or help you, right? You can summarize that. You can do it. I believe in you.
Come on, Foida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, that's all I have to really say. Use Barclay Life Skills. That's what I use, or you don't have to. But really, really read the job description, please. I cannot beg you guys enough to please read the job description. Put that into your CV, as Jill said. Relate that into your work experience that you've done, your achievements, everything. I didn't have a list of all the skills, obviously, because I had to write down my work experience and say I was doing one, which was with my aunt, and it was, what would you call it? It was managing. What do you call those things?
Some
What's it
sort
called?
of managing experience.
Yeah, but it was party. What's it called? Event organizer.
Events. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Event planner, event organizer. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a work experience with my aunt, and it was event management program and stuff like that. Obviously, it was parties, and she organized them and everything. And I wrote about that. And you know what I said? It helped good with time management, problem solving, working as a team. These were all key words that came from the job description. Oh, another thing to add: read about the business. That's something that goes
Yes.
That's
under.
true. That's very true, yeah.
Read about the business. Every business has an about us page, which I didn't actually know until I started talking to people and they said the advice that they gave me was read the about us page. Do that, and you'll see that most businesses have these, like, what's our key values?
Values, yeah.
Key values, guys. Personal, simple, brilliant. Those are
Yeah,
BT's
that's BT's
values.
values, yeah.
And you know how I memorized that? Because I had to get into the CV. I chucked them into my interview sentences. That is what I did because I read the About Us page on every single business that I applied for, all the interviews that I've gone into, all the applications I sent. I read the About Us page for every single one. Yes, it's tiring, but it's something you have to do if you want to even have a chance of progressing your application, chance of progressing in your interviews. You have to do these things, which is read the job description, read the About Us page. Yes, they're two completely different things. You need to do these things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100% agree with you there.
Understanding the business's goals and objectives, their values. Yeah.
It
Really
shows that you've done
important
your
stuff there,
research as
Fido.
well, doesn't it? It always gives a good
Yeah.
impression.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
I remember when I was like 16, I was applying to this bakery which just sold like sausage rolls. It was like Greg's basically, but not Greg's.
Fider's
And
favorite.
in my CV, I googled their website and just like basically copy and pasted their like about us, and I was like, I'm so interested in how you guys started your bakery back in the day. It was complete, it just waffle, but
You gotta do what you gotta do.
if you're genuinely interested, yeah, you know, definitely read about the company in more depth because it's good to know what sort of business you're working for.
Absolutely, yeah. 100%.
All
On
right.
that, guys, Shaz, anything else to add before we close off?
The final thing I want to add, yeah, is guys, just don't give up. Never back down, never what? Never give up. You know what I mean?
All right.
Always, always apply. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. When times get tough, remember me, Fider, Joe, we're all rooting for you. You connect with people who are rooting for you. you know, have supportive people around you. You know, get those CVs up to date, get those key values, research, get that LinkedIn set up. You know, there's so much things we've discussed today which should help you get set up on your apprenticeship journey. So this is just one small part of the apprenticeship journey. Once you get the apprenticeship, that's a whole different ball game, and we're going to be talking about that in the next episode as well. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Joe, if you've got anything else you want to say.
Yeah, just a few closing thoughts. Don't be afraid to take those risks. It's gonna be long. It's gonna be hard. Like Shaz says, don't give up. Take some risks. Follow your passion. The path might not always be the correct one. You know, Shaz didn't want to do the university life. He decided, you know what, I want something different, and that's okay. Take that risk.
Exactly.
Do something which you're genuinely interested and passionate about. That's the main thing. And of course, if you need support, seek advice from your family, your teachers, you know, other students.
Your friends as well, because I think sometimes as well,
Yeah.
a lot of friends, like from personal experience as well, like friends I had, they weren't very supportive of the apprenticeship thing.
Yeah.
So you make sure you're surrounding yourself with good friends as well, friends who want the best for
The
you.
best for
Know who they are, because you're gonna surround. You should surround yourself around like-minded people. Honestly, even if they're not like-minded people, people who boost you up and not bring you down. Because I know I'm not gonna speak, but some of us have experience, and if people are putting you down, really think about it. Is it benefiting you to be surrounding yourself around these people? And it's your future you're really looking at. So I'm not saying, oh, get rid of your friends. Um, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying make sure you know who your real ones are. Because those are the ones who always believe in you. They always have like they help you boost up your confidence. Because my confidence, the way it is now, you think it just got here like that? No. I had people around me, my mom, family, friends, actually a really big part in that. So yeah.
Like Jill and Fider, like they're good friends of mine ever since I started the apprenticeship. I met these guys, like-minded, out here now on the podcast. You know, always going above and beyond to do that, like you know, careers fairs, speaking to students, coming on BT socials, all that kind of stuff. So when you meet people who are like-minded and trying to do the same things as you, in the sense that they're just trying to improve, they're trying to level up, they're trying to, you know, build their career, then you start to realize that these people are more like you and you can become friends with them. Like when you're in school as well, there's like everyone's similar to be one thing. Fortnite, Call of Duty, TikTok, you know what I mean? But once you get older, you start to realize things in a more of like a wider perspective.
But
Thank you
yeah.
guys for listening in. Has been a lovely episode. I've actually really enjoyed this one. But this has been this has
Pathway to
been Pathway to
Profession.
Profession.
There you go.
And I'll see you guys in the next episodes. Leave a like, subscribe. We loved the comments from the last one, and it was only 3 comments, and that just made us
Made our day.
We were
One
like,
comment for each of us.
it
Let's
made
go.
our day. Obviously we had comments from other people, but I mean in the actual comment section as well. Guys, we love it. We love to hear it. Leave your comments, ask questions. We're here for it. This is literally why we brought this podcast up, is to help all of you guys. So ask your questions away. Follow us on follow us on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
LinkedIn's got you stressing, Fider, man. She's LinkedIn famous, that's why. But nah,
Thank you guys for
smash the
watching.
likes. Thank you guys for watching. Yep.
Bye guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.